The myth of MSG with Harold McGee.
Why is it that the moment you hear MSG, you know that the context is going to be that there's a problem of some kind? And it turns out to go back to a letter to the editor in the New England Journal of Medicine back in it was the late 60s, early 70s. The letter came from a doctor who didn't have any particular expertise in MSG chemistry. But the doctor had noticed that friends of his would go to Chinese restaurants and sometimes have a similar cluster of symptoms. A headache, a feeling of being flushed, of being feverish, just general discomfort. And he called the set of symptoms the Chinese restaurant syndrome. So what happened was that the media picked up on this. It went overnight from being a question to being, if not a fact, then at least very likely. In fact, MSG is a natural food ingredient that's found in many of the foods that we love that are seldom, if ever, found in Chinese restaurants. So if you love tomatoes, one of the reasons you love tomatoes is that they contain much more MSG in them naturally than many other vegetables. If you love aged Parmesan cheese, or if you love an aged steak, the reason you love those foods is that the aging process breaks the proteins down into amino acids, MSG included. So aged Parmesan cheese, aged beef have some of the highest levels of MSG of any food we're going to eat, and that's part of what makes them delicious. Eating is a very complicated subject. Diet is a very complicated subject. In the case of MSG, the record is clear. There is no evidence that MSG causes the symptoms that were initially suggested as being part of the Chinese restaurant syndrome.